What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Hanging Out with Skip. It's a behind-the-scenes podcast for Cox and Spaces. I'm working on the animation for Cox and Space and getting our first look at Pussy Paradise, which has demonetized us probably for this episode. So know that this episode is coming to you ad-free. I'm your host and friend, Skip Marazzi. If you'd like to help us out, of course, to keep the show going, if you'd like to see more kitties like this, you can go to coxinspace.com. That's coxinspace.com. And you can go to click on the Patreon link down at the bottom. You'll take you to the Wigwags, and you can select which project. Of course, you'd be looking at becoming a crew member. So glad you're here today. Glad you were able to make it. Welcome to all the friends. Know that if you want to hang out with me, you can. You can go up to the Discord. Um, uh, Specifically, go to coxinspace.com. You can click on the Discord link. It'll take you to our server. Looks like we're good there, and you can hang out. It's in the general voice chat. So just ask that you be cool, of course. And that's not supposed to like daunt anybody that they're not cool enough to hang out on the show, but just that um, pardon me. It's just that the reason to have a conversation with somebody, in my opinion, is to hear what they have to say, uh, and then to, if you don't understand it, find out more as much as you can, and then the roles reverse, and you prime each other for information, swapping ideas and such like that. It's based off the amount of curiosity that you have with the other person. Um, so last time, if you were here, uh, y- you know you know a lot of things. I'm sure the average person who is not on the street does not know. But one of the things I did was we were working to get the pecker out, and then between that episode and this episode of working on this, I realized that the pecker needs to be there actually. So um, I'm just gonna put that back in, and it's because we were trying to do that shot where dang it, that'll help. We follow the cat down the beach. And I really messed up that sky behind it. It's okay. We want that clear for clouds anyway. And really, I guess we do need the pecker as a separate layer there anyway, but it doesn't need to be blacked out or anything. Like that's, I don't have to do that work. I just need to put stuff in here. Um, anyway, because in this shot, as I was thinking about it, I want her to be the reveal that the pecker is there, right? And then the reveal as she walks past the two Cox here later on, the Cox brothers. Um, Let me update that real quick. And that should show up here. Cool. So, as I've mentioned many times, and I hope that you are understanding by this time that um, animation is definitely not my forte. The reason I got involved with Cox and Space was I just realized the cat doesn't have to move; the background has to move, and that's interesting. Um, and then zoom, I guess, because she eventually walks down this way. Okay, so she's walking down. Da, 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 da. We're gonna have her actually cross, and she crosses like in front of the Cox. We're standing there talking. Um, as I've mentioned a number of times, and I hope that you begin to believe me that animation is not my forte. I came to Cox Space as a writer, as an actor, um, and so that there is a cartoon now, and it needs to be made is just the way that it is. So that's why I'm figuring this stuff out on the fly with you here. Um, But I believe that is the case with all animation, and any animators can comment below. With humans, it's kind of like how humans do projects, is they take the pieces and put them together, either in their mind on a sketch, with the pieces together, and then you just keep doing that process over and over. So we want her to, no, I do want her to walk sideways. So, but it starts, I think we need more still. Because I don't want to start with that in the shot. I think I'm going to do like a conjoined shot. So I'll start with like an extreme close and then pull out as she crosses. So it's probably going to be two animations. And does she need to be lower so she can cross in front of them? Oh, she has to go, okay, across and down. So she ends up here. I think I've mentioned too on the show, um, huh. So let's see if we can do something like this. Um, that I have a lot of admiration for people who've done this work before. You know, who basically the software that we're using is based off of the needs of people who figured out all the hard stuff. Um, Not to dog on Adobe. They provided exactly the tool that the people needed for what they were doing. Um, I'm gonna do the scale in a second. So let's say she crosses frame. This needs to be based on the dialogue. That's why I keep pausing. I need to figure out what the dialogue is and get that clip, which actually is going to be a feat because, all right, yes, actually I know where it is. We have the recording right here. So at least I have a rough. Oh, this is only 27 seconds. No, that's not what I want. That's making chicken sounds. So yeah, it is most likely all the way up here because it looks like this is here chronologically.
You can't even see the stars.
Okay, so that's where we're eventually going to be getting 4 minutes in. This is where we are.
Interior of the USS Pecker Bridge lit. Peter Cox is man-spreading in the captain's chair. Check again, Dick. I want you to take this vacation so we don't have to break our code.
They used to have a different code.
Up the long hallway toward the head of the ship. Interior of the USS Pecker Bridge lit. Richard Cox pecks a console, bringing depression up on the screen. What is that monstrosity?
Well, Peter, we're hovering over the major and minor folds of a gravity well, and Pussy Paradise is hidden within it.
The mystery must be penetrated. Full thrust.
Cox in space, not in your face, spreading happiness through the universe. Peter and Richard are here for you. At last, it's Cox in space.
Exterior Pussy Paradise Beach Day. Peter Cox and Richard Cox stroll past lounging fat cats. I don't remember these pussies being quite so fat. Richard Cox pulls out a medical device and scans a fat cat with it.
Damn. Um,
Meow. Peter Cox draws a massive gun, aiming it at.
wow. So there is no real dialogue there. Okay. Uh, so wow, this is really it's a gratuitous pussy shot. So is it going to be music after all that expectation, all that build up? It's going to come to this very quiet moment. This is really funny. It was not planned quite this way, but there is a lot of time to this one frame. Um, So I think this is fantastic. So basically, I had Jack break up the pages as far as how much time I wanted to spend on it per minute. And I am being a gross human right now because of the gunk in my eye. Uh, Give me 1 second as I realize it's probably because my allergy pill has run out. And, you know, I'm not used to any of the plants around here, or probably the mold. Which will give a fantastic, that's the ability to feature some of Wub Wizard Josiah's work. Because he does fantastic music, and it would be nice to give him like a sequence here. Probably the only thing we'll be seeing is the reveal of the ship, the passing of, as she passes him, he'll make that comment. Um, okay, so in this panel, that means they have a third of the page. So that's about 30 seconds. Let's pull up that page real quick. And yeah, because it's the whole bottom of the page. Here. I'm trying to convince myself. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about if you're watching this live stream. Um, so that is cool. Is there something? I might be in the right place because I would be looking at artwork. Let me look at this guy right here. Yeah, see, it's broken into thirds. So yeah, and that was intentional. The layout of it, because I was trying to get that demarcation, um, so that he would have, like visually enough room to. This is for the cat. She loves trash. Um, that he would have enough artwork. Like the next page, we're gonna spend a lot of time on with Luna. And so the minutes split evenly, so she gets, aha. Everybody at home is like, it's 20 seconds. It's 20 seconds, not 30 seconds. Um, yeah, so 20 seconds is what we're looking at from this frame. So she has 20 seconds to get across here, and then reveal all the cats. So cool. That was the question there. Yeah, as you can see, not real great at even math. So, it is what it is. It's okay to be good at some things and terrible at other things. Just is what it is. No person can be good at everything. You didn't even bring it back. You're just gonna leave it over there? You're just gonna leave that whole thing over there, huh? So here. Let's get that. Yeah, exactly. So I want to get this to in that time. Okay, one thing I do know, and we can break up the animation from here. It was kind of like too big to think of as like piece by piece. So what I want to do instead is this. I want to get her here. Actually, I want to get her there by this point, like 16 seconds or something. And then she'll walk the rest of the way herself. So let's do this one. Then we're going to do this, and we're going to do that at the beginning too, and then she'll go, and she'll finish this animation here, doing this. And then I think I'm not sure, that's quite a bit of time, right? So she reveals, ooh, that's not far enough down. Okay. With the first one, with the first frame. So she reveals, that's cool that that's the case. She just has to be further, yeah, she has to be a lot further down by this point. So let's have her cross. Make more extreme. I don't like that, so we're gonna need to do a zoom too at the same time here. I didn't want to do that, but I do. So she goes dun 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 dun, walks past them, standing right there. Whoa, yeah, that seems a little extreme. That's not what I meant to do. Let's do this. Okay, so she's walking. Okay, she's walking, revealing the cocks over there. Mm-hmm. Hmm. That, Okay, so there's a lot not right with it, but the main thing, I think I want to get the Cox brothers in there, see kind of what it looks like, and then cut to a zoom, so I can see what, like, it's, maybe start. Okay. Y'all, you look at this process, and I think a lot, yeah, there's people who don't want to show their process, probably because this is the exact same. You know, you just start with an idea, and then you start to work it. Because you don't know how to do a thing until you do a thing. Um, you know, and I imagine each project, even though you know how you get more skills, each project is different. You know, they all have unique challenges to them. So let's put. Oh, I wanted her to walk in front of them instead of behind them. I think that's one of the issues, is that she is. She's like too close in the frame, maybe? Okay, so let's go back to here. Maybe she's just been too close to the camera the whole time. But she doesn't have very much body. Okay, and that is the issue. Yeah, she doesn't have enough body unless we keep it real close. Okay, what I'm going to do is this, to not mess with that, because it'll get all janky if I keep messing with it. Yeah, so I'm going, so what if, right? Again, how do we make this work? And it can. I have faith that it can be figured out. But, okay, let's put the Cox Brothers in the foreground. So we can get kind of an idea of how they're positioned. And then figure out how she's going to fit into that. Okay. Damn it. They have to be on the same. This can't be moving. She has to be moving. Okay. I thought it was cool. And definitely one way to do it if it wasn't for this. But, so we want, oh, they're all the way there. That's pretty small. Right. They are in context to the rest of the thing. What if we... Because I need her to reveal the ship. Okay. And then... Oops. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way. Okay, what if we start with a zoom? I'd take back all those words that hurt you, and you'd stay. So what if she comes down the beach like that? How much more beach do I have? I have a little bit. So she comes down from here. And I'll put the cocks on that beach layer. Can't do it because I need them on top. Okay, let's... They're totally not going to be in the right place until they are. So that will be kind of annoying, but I can't actually take that. Let's do position. Yeah, I need to change. I need to change the backgrounds. This is still a thing I need to do. Whoops. And let's hit scale also, just in case. But that doesn't get the cocks revealing. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So she is here and she could be smaller. Let's start with that really big close. Whoops. How much more beach do we have? I keep asking this question. Like I'm not aware of how much beach we have, but so let's have her here. Right? And she does this walk across. It's gonna take about 4 or 5 seconds, let's say. Perfect. Something like that. Where the position of this moves from let's take this right here and make this go like this. I'm gonna try to get it to go nicely. There we go. Like that. Okay, something like that. And then we need pop, 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 pop. She walks. Okay, she needs to be moved over a little bit by that time. Okay. Let's not do that. Let's, while this is happening, here, look at this. Um, I think it's something like that. Let's see how these play together. Oh, okay. Um, let's. Damn. So, it's that part of the show. We're about half hour in, as you can see, doing some of the monotonous things that you have to do to make it work. Um, and thinking about things as it goes. I suddenly jumped to 2 seconds. Oh, let's give that some time to get something like that, maybe. Um, I don't know if I should even share this, but here we are doing the thing. It seems like now unfair to mention it and then not comment on it, right? Anyway, so I threw up a she also needs to grow in size. They are not to scale anymore, as you can see. Um, anyway, I did a yo, words are failing me at this very moment. And she needs to scale up. Definitely thinking of too many things at one time and definitely being like, maybe this is not the right forum to share. Um, anyway. Okay, let's get back to this animation. Okay, she's moving like that. She moves down. That's awesome. She needs to be growing in size from here. Oh, she just stays right there. Okay, cool. Right. Not positive. I just know that this does not look right. So I'm thinking she's supposed to be like this big. Something like that. So she walks by them there. She's still not far enough over. So we do need to adjust that. Bam. And maybe something like that. Then she moves down the beach towards us. We see the cocks over there on the left-hand side. She's still taking a fair amount, but we need her to stop that there. So that needs to be here. Nope. Actually, the exact opposite. We need this to be the keyframe that stops that and that. Here we go. So she walks past. We see the ship in the background. It's far away and it's huge. Um, she traces down the path here. Oh, no, what? No, excuse me. She needs to move over by this point. Um, let's say here is where we'll take her from here. And then she needs to be go in that direction for sure. Oh, gotcha. Because we need her to help reveal. Okay. All right. It goes like that. She's going down. Is it the beach that stops there? Okay, cool. Because we do need it to keep going down a ways. Like here, I think. It needs to be like, yeah, something like that. Okay, she gets closer. Cool. And right here to start walking this direction. So, cool, let's keyframe that so it doesn't migrate too much. But then for the rest of this thing, we're going to be having her move. That is an awful lot of time. Maybe she needs more time. Oh, right. It's not her that's moving. It's the background that's moving. Okay, so from here, basically, it has to keep going down, but it has to go over too. Okay. Because you have to reveal the cocks. Okay, we're gonna need to zoom from this point. Okay. Yeah. But you have to, I can kind of see how the sequence, they have to be together. And I already have the zoom going on this kitty, because she's getting closer. Because she can't go down that far. We just need to have the shot pull out. Okay. Well, cool. Let's do a keyframe there, because we do need this one here. And then we're gonna have to do one of these guys. As we get to see the damn. Damn, this is tricky. Okay. All right, hang on. Because I have to think about it. Zooming and yeah. All right. And it needs to be on this anchor point that isn't where it's supposed to be. Nope. Yeah. And that's why I was afraid I was already attached to that. Um, I might. I mean, I think the smart thing probably is to do the background separate as a separate like layer. So you could do the zoom action, but knowing where she is at the right time is kind of the trick about getting that to break those. And so it's like this cart, horse, chicken, egg situation. Um, to move one without the other, but to move both of them is so tricky um, to me because I'm basic and do not have the level of skills that I want for this yet. But let's say this. Let's go here, and we want it to be a certain size when it gets there. We know that's true. Um, there. So let's do this. And I can of course change it with camera angles. I could zoom later. It still looks good. She moves down the beach. She needs to keep growing in size. Okay. Okay, so if the scale for this kitty, let's go back to this one here. Okay, and then for this, the next position of scale, cool, is there, and she needs to be bigger. Something like that, maybe? Ba, 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 ba. And I make fun of that director a lot because I think he has a lot of like meticulous details that you don't need. A bunch of people enjoy it for sure, so matter of taste, mileage may vary on that comment. But sometimes I'm like, oh, but maybe I make fun of him because I totally get it. Like I'm like, it's got to be, such and such a way. Um, doesn't have to reveal their feet; it just needs to reveal their heads, which means that this needs to be zoomed out more by this point. Because I need her at this point to be walking that way. Um, and by this, not here. No, because they're standing right here, but I could have them standing anywhere, really. Oh, yeah, I need to watch it. And then here, because we need to see the beach is the thing. I think that's what's bothering me. Is I don't get to see any of the fun stuff that's on the beach. Um, okay. I mean, it's all right. This is an interesting puzzle. Um, and that's all you can say about that. So it's, the scale at that point is kind of fixed, right? There's more like along the lines of what I want. Let's see what this is. But that's not where I wanted that to be at all. I want it to be the last frame to be kind of like here. Something like that. All right. So the position here, I think I still need to zoom out. Yeah, she's on like a whole different like level right now. It's just like in the position like here has her going across like this, which is the shot that I want more than anything. This is the thing that I'm like, I need this because she needs to stroll past all these guys. Um, she comes on the beach. She walks past all of her friends. So maybe I'll put them mid-beach instead. Maybe I'll cheat the shot, and then we're gonna put them like here instead of down there at the end, and take the end of that beach out, or the end of their path out. Um, like if I put them here instead. They need to be on that beach shot. I took them out for no reason. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I need them to track on that shot right there. Um, so where does she plausibly cross? Oh shit. I need to put them on at that beach layer. Okay. Let's do this. About halfway through the show, running into problems as usual as you work on projects. It's just the things that happen. I'll take this. The question is what I'm trying to do. What am I trying to do, right? Um, which is hard to see because so um, it's hard for me to visualize things in my brain. So that's why I have to like play with it. Uh, so like what I want it to do is the part that I'm running into. Like I think I want to stick to the cocks to the background, but they if that's the case, she doesn't cross in front of them, which she should, which means that these have to be tracking shots. That I need to have these guys here. There's so much emotion going on. All right, and then to make these, I chose this project, right? But it's just like when you agree to do something and then what happens afterwards is generally two different things. Um, because they're gonna float around, basically, um, if not done properly. Which is why I think they should be put back on the background, but in the right place. But then, okay, I'll just have to create head patches or something that she walks past that I will track. But it'll make it the ability to do that. Let's do this. Uh, open up layer 4, and then put these guys back in, but where we want them now instead. I mean, it is more fun for their shit. It is more fun further up the beach, but because she's such a main character, um, I think that's where. Okay, put this guy like this. Do both these at the same time. Scale them down. I think I'm trying to put her there. So, see these guys out real quick. Yeah, so she like walks behind them, and then we see that as she walks down the beach, leaving them behind. I think I can move them a little further down. Um, but just as she does that, pass. Although I think it is funny that her boobs pass right in front of them, and she's like, and then they're like, I don't remember being quite so fat, and then she walks down the beach. Um, and maybe we'll have these guys at this point move over there, although, again, this animation is not. I'll have to replace it or something. Well, okay, so there's probably a nice way to pair these together. I think that it is just creating it so that it follows that. Um, okay, this does look good, and I like it a lot. That whole thing, because we get to see all these cats. I don't remember being quite so fat, and then we see all the fat cats on the beach being fat. Okay, so because it's a shrink in size too, that whole thing has to do that. I think it's because I did too many things at once, and so now I'm paying for it. That right there, I can get away with. I think what I'm gonna, oh man, this is such a cheat. Okay. Um, I think what I'm gonna do is do that there because there's no zoom. Where's that zoom start? Here. Cool. It is right there. Let's go. Yeah, perfect. So what I'm gonna do is have them just move. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Let's get him to scale. He also needs to be in the back. Oh crap, what's going on with you, buddy? Didn't know we had all that stuff on you already. How about you? You got stuff on you? I bet you do. Okay, let's take that off. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, let's just get down just a bit more. Guys, this is the beginning of the weekend for me, and I use the term guys to mean, people, my friends. Um, so I got a little excited. I got some strawberry ice cream. I don't generally eat ice cream. I'm kind of lactose intolerant in that I just don't tolerate lactose in my house. But for real, I don't know. It doesn't make me feel good, so I use other alternative. And then I realized more recently, or it reared up again as I became an adult. My body started, dying instead of regenerating. Mm. That I also have a nut allergy, so almond milk is not the choice that I'm able to have. So, hmm. This is masking is not great. Said the autistic person. Lols. Um, okay, so we are gonna have this motion's fucking crazy. Uh, this is such a bad idea. This is not the way to do it at all, for sure, for sure. Um, and they're bigger because they're masking it. And they should also be growing in size. They shouldn't be staying stagnant. Well, maybe she's. No, okay. Man. Okay, let me try this again. She can't possibly be walking by them at that size. There must be something I've done that's different that messed something else up. Huh? Huh? Because they'd have to be bigger at that point, or she has to be smaller. Okay, so maybe she's too big. Okay, let's scale her down a little bit. Which means we also need to bring the beach up. Hmm. Okay. I want to take this one and then go here. Okay, and then so she's gonna move like ba 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 ba, and then come up this way, which is fine. Okay, she's a little bit big. Yeah, guys, I hope this is encouraging to you. You know, it's just like it's just you keep working at it. You keep trying to figure it out. That's the only way you'll ever get anything done. Um, what the hell am I resizing here? Okay, okay, her scale at that point needs to be like this. Okay, I like it. I like it. Let's see if it looks super weird if she does this and passes them there. It might be a little fast. Okay, let's see. Is there an initial? There is. It's this one. Okay, that one needs to be a little bit smaller. Too. So she's more like that. Okay, I can dig it. Wow, that's still not 20 seconds. Okay, but what we're gonna see her is walk past that, and then seems weird that they would keep standing. I'm a front-facing Richard. It's gonna be tricky. I think I'm gonna fake it. I think I'm gonna use his face, just have him turn his head, and watch him. Do need to take those out the beach. And then walk across this way. And then she, of course, does the rest of walking that way. Let's do this, and then the rest of the way she's just gonna go whoop. All right. Okay, still need to patch that one in front somehow. Okay, I mean that's a fine sequence. Um, she does seem right. We're gonna need to add some motion in the background, obviously, to get all that stuff to work. And that's the right size. How do we? I mean, if she were smaller and this was up more, you don't have to do all that. But as far as the animation goes for their heads and stuff, maybe I'll just rough switch it. Okay. So she does the walking bit. And then I can just do a little rotation of her. Hmm. Um, there, I like exactly what's going on here. There's a lot to be desired. Basically, I'm trying to figure out the reason to. That's not quite right. I need it to be zoomed out more by that time so we can get the whole pecker in there. Um, I heard it. I heard it. Okay. Let's see how that changes things. Okay, so she needs to be. And that, I mean that's really the thing about making art, right? Like you can kind of visualize what the final product looks like, but as you're working on it, you can't. It's not quite there yet, and it's as frustrating as it is rewarding. I mean, with anything, right? Like you want your kids to be good. Um, you can see that they could be good, and they won't be. They just don't want to be for some reason. Um, and we're still going to do another zoom shot on this one because I do want to do a close up on her face. She's walking across the beach here. Um, okay, so it's going to be go from beachy to ominous. Okay, it's going to be this moment of tension, which I can't hear the music for yet, obviously, and that is part of it, I believe. Um, we're as always, I encourage you guys. You could jump on the Discord if you want to. Go to coxinspace.com, click on the Discord. You can come hang out with me. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, and if you speak English, I suppose you can speak other languages. I just don't speak them, unfortunately. Und liten svenska, med long time ago, long time, um, long tiden for that mate. The So yeah, if you have any comments that you would want to, you can tell me come hang out with me on the Discord and talk about it. Again, if you want to talk about Cox and Space and not be rude, anyone who's said they can talk in there now, so uh, you're welcome to come. Also, comment below if you have like suggestions of what you're like. Oh, it'd be easy if you did. It would be helpful. If you have experience. Um, if you just have opinions, those are, I mean, ideas are useful sometimes. Obviously you see that I'm working on the uninformed opinions that I have to make this happen. So, um, yeah, I think with a little rotation, we can make the cat walk. Sweet. Yeah, we have about 20 minutes left in the show. I hope you guys will tune in this weekend or tomorrow rather, my weekend. It's a Tuesday morning. We have a Tuesday morning podcast with Dylan Farr. That's gonna be happening tomorrow morning, 9:30 to 11:30 Eastern. Um, we review movies, and tomorrow we're reviewing Boondock Saints, um, which is it's going to be an interesting review, uh, only because they say that the way that you consume art when you're young is differently than how you consume it as you're older, and that's true. So I think that that's an interesting. Here we go. We'll put the beats into it. It's going to be an interesting review for that, for the Boondock Saints review. Because I saw it as a kid, 18 and 19, when it came out, and then I'm watching it again, and I'm like, interesting, right? Um, I kind of want her to be the focus, and then to go out of focus on her as we see all the people in the background, um, and it kind of focus on her at the end. This one is just kind of the mess around um, shot that I want to get the final look, so to speak. um, so that it's more fun as a reveal. So something like this, I kind of want to even do more like this even, if I can cheat it, something like that, and then we should be following her. By the time we get to the Cox, it should be, oh shit. Um, okay, so position scale marked, and then by the time she gets here, I want it to be like, something like that. No, it needs to be more. Yeah, it's more like that, and it needs to be more like. Well, let's save some mystery here. Hmm. This is wild that it's not framing up the same. Did I make it a different size than? Hang on. It's the same size. why is this one? Yeah, it's the same size. Oh, because the frame is super big. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Um, okay, and the frame is super big. And it's the black on the side. White. Okay. Okay, this is not looking good. Maybe something like that. Can't quite be like that. And I got it. Well, that's just messing up one of the black part right there. Let's do this. At that point. Okay, I think that works. It feels like it's fairly tight. Um, it's a little bit clunky. She's moving kind of in like, it needs to be a little bit more organic, but sweet. Okay, so we have about 15 minutes left in the show. I'm going to start to add a little bit of movement to her. So she gets a little rotation. Oh man, there's so much going on with that cat. All right, but let's see if we can't. The anchor point's going to make it wonky. I think I'm going to do this as there was a subcat. I think I'm going to do a subcat one. Do this. Or I'll take this cat for those, those 20 seconds. Dang it. Where does it sit in the frame? This is the big question. Yeah, we must know. Why can't we know it? Okay, suspect. Alright. That is where it starts. We're gonna take this right here. I'm gonna take this right there. Oh, wow. I didn't need to have these guys open. Why is that open, taking up all those resources? No, do not do it. So, there are a bunch of voices, of course, inside me crying to come out. Um, because that is what they do. Um, and that's why I improvise. Just because there's silly things, silly voices that need to speak. What I want to do is anchor this right here so she can move, not weird, and then do the rotation. So she's like da 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 da. This is crazy. How many frames is walking? you know. Um. Now let's do this, and then no, no, indeed. What the hell am I doing? No way. No way. Okay, that apparently is not the right thing to have done, but let's put this baby in the corner like this and see how that affects the other one. One, two, three, four. Yeah, I really think, how much time is that? A second? One, two, three, four. What is that tempo? Um, yeah, I gotta switch this from the camera to the laptop. 4/4 time is 4/4 in a minute. So is that 15 seconds? That can't be right. Um, okay. Also, I want to check to see if this still works. Hmm. That bit does. It's also fast still. Like the reveal of the pecker is like rushed. Um, I think it's because of the zoom. I think I'm starting way too close on that zoom. Yeah, let's do that. I would really like to see her go behind them, but we can work on that later. It's kind of that dip. Is there a way that we can make the zoom? Okay. Because we'll just change the position, right? So there. And then as she comes around this corner, that's not bad. Okay. Okay, they're gonna be in frame for a while, so um let's see. What is making this? This way that moves down, and she moves down this way. Okay. It can be down further, right? So, hang on. There. Okay, so by this point we actually want this here. That's a cloud. So that can stay in focus. Has that like here. That's not bad. She reaches the bottom here. This could be like up like this a little bit. So it is working to a certain extent. There's definitely more to do, more to play with here. I like where things are kind of ending up. This has been an interesting challenge. Definitely doing a lot of stuff I haven't done before, and so I think that's interesting. Let's just do this so we'll get a little walking in here. Something 33 frames per second, so something like that. Um, that's the first second. Okay. It's 20 seconds long. Okay, so let's say, like at 15, she's like, Burke. And then 30, she's like, what? Alright. At that second, or at the second 15, she's like, the same thing. Just, yeah. And then, key. This is probably gonna look all janky, but I think I just missed one of them. Here we go. But it gives it something. That's all. I mean, the one thing that people will say about all the work I do, whether it's visual art, because I've done cartoons, like hand-drawn cartoons, or it's if it's on stage. And with this too, people will always be like, "Well, it's very interesting." You know what I mean? And so one of my goals has been to like master interesting and do it with intentionality, right? Because that's really what mastery of art is about. Is finding your unique voice, what makes you you, and then and doing it in a way that it's not all over the place. That you do it, and people go, "Aha! It wasn't an accident. They've achieved their goals." And I think more than anything, that's what mastery is, and that's how you become great at whatever craft you have. Um, and we've talked about, arts and crafts are very similar to each other, but the art is your unique voice on the crafting of what that voice is. And I think you very much need both. If you accidentally do something, it's a marvel, right? If you do it intentional, and you can deliver, it's a skill. You're an artisan at that point. Um, and so I think a lot of artists fail in that way. Not that you can fail at art because art is expression, but like if you fail at bringing somebody in a way that they can understand, then you haven't quite done, you haven't mastered it, you know. Um, and so for me, that's where I've been like, that's why I want is to master, um, to do the things I want to do with the oddness that I do with intentionality. So let's see how good that looks. It was a little silly, but she's walking. Um, hmm. Is there maybe there's a Bob? It's so silly. Well, that's what we've got for today. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Behind the Scenes, for Cox in Space. I'm Skip Marazzi, your host and friend. Just working on the animation, trying to make that happen, trying to encourage people to, in all their fields of artistry that they do. You can do it. Keep trying at it. See what happens. It's fun. Thank you for joining me. If you like the show, like, comment, share. I do encourage you to comment and say the things to me that you want to say, because you mostly won't hurt my feelings, and I'm not out to get anybody. Um, if you do want to come hang out with us, you can, of course, on the Discord. I'll be up for there for a few minutes. I might be streaming a movie here in a minute. So check that out. But yeah, did I just say that? I shouldn't have said that probably. Anyway, talk to you guys later.